Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars to the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming? And the rocket's red glare, the balls bursting in air, gave truth through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Job Shop USA. My name is Keith, and we're in my shop tonight. Today has been pretty exciting because I've got up to this point where I have Pearl ready to actually put power to it, test it, the speeds and everything else. I've started over here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm quickly doing this with my phone so that you can catch it as well. All right, so on this side here I got the WIG mag controller, and it's all completely wired in, and the leads go on down into the motor. We've got the springs correctly done on the clutch now. I bumped it to just verify that I am rolling in the right direction. This is my start and stop switch. I have it just temporarily mounted on this plate here that I cut out on the plasma cam. And its power source just comes from underneath there. The main lead goes over to the panel. Power is already on it. The one thing that I took a little bit of time to actually manufacture today was a collar with clamp pinch bolts spaced out with a little keeper to keep the travel, because you got to keep this shaft from going in and out as well, because the quick change box is not here, so it's not holding that bevel gear out in position. So anyhow, the rod comes on up here. You ready to go? All right. Window, got it all clean. I'm going to put this camera up here on the top. I have this camera here that's going to be watching the clutches. And then I got this little camera here, and it's going to be catching the front view. And then, of course, you got your camera, main camera, that's going to catch the feed. So between all of these here, we're going to catch what's going on. Now, yeah, I know. I got my Monarch tack. It's only proper, right? Just another coincidence. On the chuck, I've got reflective tape here. So we got that speed. I have a piece of reflective tape down on the lower motor pulley. And just so that we know also what the rotational speed is on the main input shaft, which that's unknown in other literature, or because we haven't run it. We don't know. Like I said, I just bumped it over. We may have loose belts. We may have adjustments that have to go on the clutches or any of that. I don't know. Because, and we also don't have any oil on the screen. I wanted you to witness the very first light off the same as I am right now. Okay, without further interruptions or anything, don't need that up on the window. Let's get all the cameras going and let's see how it goes. I'm going to go through the gear train so you can see the positions before we get oil slung on here, and I'll catch that with that upper camera. And then after that, we'll go through, and we're going to start at the lowest speed, and we're going to work our way through. I've shown these plenty of times. Original speeds, projected speeds. Only by the formula, roughly in my head, are 3 times as much. I have my blank sheet here so that I can record my actual speeds, because when it comes to making this plate up here, I want it to be correct, or as close as possible. Alrighty, let's get going. Okay, let's go first gear. These go together, and okay, that's first gear. And then second gear would be moving this. Well, I tell you what, I can't hardly roll that around. Okay, let's hit the power. Okay, we do have a little bit of belt flap. I'm getting like 35, 34. A little bit of drifting on the clutch, but Trump can hold it back. Okay, I'm going to write that in. 35, 34 at the top here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go in. This will be first gear. $43, 5. I'm going to say 43.5. We're just going to put 44. We'll round it to the next high. Okay, next gear. All right, there's second. I'm getting a 57, 57.5. Okay, third gear. Seventy-two 7. Okay, this is fourth gear. Ninety-five 4. Okay, now we're going to be switching. Here we go. Okay, fifth gear. One 15. Sixth gear. One 52. Okay, seventh gear. One 92. I'm just going to take a walk around. I just want to make sure. No leaks, no nothing. Okay. Eighth gear. I'm getting 252. Definitely got enough oil flowing in there, huh? Plenty of oil flowing through the gauge. oil level drops when we put it in gear. So I'm almost wondering if the oil level should be set a little bit high. I don't know where that oil level line is. I'll have to read in the manual just to make sure whether it's a set line or a running line. It does come right up to the line again. I'm going to take a quick look and take a quick look. Okay, before lathe is operated, headstock and apron must be filled to the proper level. So the proper level is as I said it. I just had to make sure. Okay, now we're going to move on to the 9th gear. .310. Tenth gear. .406, 407. We'll call it 407. .11th gear. .518. Got a little bit of the oil that I put into these dogs here starting to fly out. Getting on my glasses. Okay, now we're going to .12th gear. I'm going to say 680. Okay, 680, and we're already faster than this lathe originally was able to do. 550 was the top speed that this used to do. And at the gear we're in right now was 207. I had projected that this gear here would be 621, and I'm at 680. So my math was not doing justice. I probably left out a decimal point there or something. All right. But that's all right. That's why we wrote them down. We'll compare what I projected on the whole thing after I'm done. I'm not studying it right now, but I am. Got any on you, Donald? All right. 13th speed. I like to bring down my my little ones first here. All right. That actually sounds pretty sweet. That's 822. Okay, 14th speed would be, that went in easy, right? $1,080. I get to feel my clutch and brake working now. Okay. '15th speed. $13,648. I'm going to say 1366. Repeats 2 times. I'll call that good. Okay, here's what we've been waiting for. Top end. What's top end gonna be? Boy, does that sound good, don't it? 1794. Sound good to you? Sound good to me. Sound good to you? All right, I gotta find my iced coffee. I gotta have a little break. I'm so glad that went as as well as it did. One, and that, I didn't have to suffer being embarrassed at all. There wasn't a there wasn't a noisy gear in that whole thing. There was good sound. I felt there was really good sound through this whole thing, and I was that was my whole concern about speeding this up. And it wasn't that I sped this up twice as fast. I basically went 3 times faster than it was. And I basically went by any of the new modern little lathes, like even though it was foreign jobby, the Rutland was turning up there around 1550 on top end. Now, I'm not going to be doing that with the 3 jaw. I put this on here because you had to have some kind of weight on here for at least a decent test. But I have 2 collet closures attachments to go on this thing so that I can really get down to a pretty much a pin size. And the top speeds of that is going to come into handy. But also too, if you think about the gear ratio, there's 16 speeds in here. I mean, this basically only got 8, and then a high and low, so you got another 8. But I've hardly ever taken it out of the low range on this, and it has spur gears and it's noisy. But on the closing here, I 97. I never thread anything less than 97 RPMs. Okay, the original speed of this in low was 13. Okay, I could go get a cup of coffee between, threading dial coming around, coming around again to get your thread going again. Um, and the top end was 550. And back in 1941 and the tooling that was used back then, that was the only thing about these older machines was how slow they actually turned, and bring them up into nowadays tooling. We need to get the speed out of it. So my thinking and my theory, they most of the time you would think, oh, if you're going to speed it up, you're going to have to take and increase your horsepower so you have the same torque. But in reality, the thing was geared so low to start with, and new tooling, you're buzzing much faster, but you're not taking the depth of cut. It pans out in my mind. when I get something in there and I actually get a load on it, we'll be verifying that again. But I just ran this through the speeds. Of course, I'm not cutting on anything, but here again, I'm going to be using new tooling versus old tooling. Let's just go through the gears, what I actually have and what it had and what I projected and what it actually has. How's that? Okay, so first gear actually had 13. I projected 39 and then I'm getting 44. And you're going to see the progression along is all going to be pretty comparable to the same. I had 17, I projected 51, I got 57. Third gear was 22, I projected 66 and I got 72. So it's almost like triple and 0.2 or so more. 29, 87, 95. 35, 105, 115. 46, 138, 152. 59, projected was 177, and I got 192. So it's it's 77, 231. I'll keep my comment to myself. 252. We go on up, and we're in ninth gear here. 94, 282, 310, 125, 375, 407, 158, 474 is 518, 207, 621, 680, 250, 750, 822, 330, 990, 1080, 418, 1254, 1366, and then of course the top end 550 was the original. I projected 1650 and I got 1794. And it sounds that good. Now, of course, I'm not going to be running up at those speeds all the time, but that means that I get to run down on the lower end in my comfortable realm of speeds. I machine to the color of the chip. A lot of people got all the speeds and feeds and all, and to try to get all these calculated exact rates. And when you're in CNC, and just like plasma cutting, thickness, speeds, and all that, I have general rules that guideline and everything else, but it's all related to the perfect cut. Well, in machining, you're going to the color of the chip. And there are some materials where you can't tell by the color of the chip, but you got the shape of the chip. Different things like that. Anyhow, we're making pearl great again. The other day, yesterday, the meter check valves came in, and I thought I was just going to replace a line there with some 1/8" tubing that I had, and it's not 1/8" tubing. So I had to order some 532 or 4mm comparable sizes, and then that'll come in, and I'll be able to put that one fitting in there, and then I'll be ready to turn this over, and we're ready to start assembling the carriage. So we're moving on. Also, another thing I wanted to touch bases with you, and I got 2 pictures to share with you, because Valdir got the machines up on top of, well, when I say up on top, you picture this. Brava is water circumference smaller than Nantucket, but it's 3,000 feet tall. All right, and the comfortable living's up on the top, and and that's where his shop is at. And anyway, here's a couple pictures of showing you just getting the machines there. We had the shipping going over, and then you had certain time in customs. Everybody's got to get their piece of the cake, right? And so anyway, I can't wait. Lisa and I are getting ready to head on over there, and I will be bringing you some footage of what Brava's all about and Valdier's shop. In the pictures there, you can see that the outside street that's it looks like cobblestone, but that's actually lava square chunks cut up in squares, and that's what the roads. That's the typical roads there, and that's how they build them. There is a couple macadam roads that's just recently, and I mean just several years, not um, not like 20 years or anything else like that. It's actually just recently that they've started. A couple of the major switchback inclines have been asphalted. Um, so anyway, we're looking forward to that as well, and we've all been waiting for this day, and I'm so glad that even though the visual was somewhat oil, shielded, but it actually showed you what gears were flinging the oil, and that how much oil does fly around inside that gearbox. And and my sight gauge is right up to where it's at, and that was the main thing. As the sight gauge here has always been the same way. You fire it off and the level oil drops down, but we know where the oil's at. It's still in the gearbox. It's just on the wall, the ceilings, the side of the gears. It's everywhere. But it is ample amount of oil. I felt my bearings. Nothing was hot. The hottest thing was the center of the disc on the clutch. I can put my hand on it for a couple seconds there. A little bit of oil slinging out of the front Lambert seal, because that's all it is. And so what's that telling me is there's more than ample enough oil feeding that front bearing right there. And we'll just have to, we'll have to probably put a burp rag or something here. I'm not afraid of slinging the oil. I know that I know what kind of seal it is, and that's how it works, Um, and I don't think I have to put any additive in the oil to make it any quieter. It's pretty impressive. I'm really stoked about it. I want to thank everybody out there in the community that um, either states comments in my comments during my videos, emails. I get personal emails all the time. Every once in a while, the people that have my phone number, they'll give me a call, and we'll chat a little bit. We'll talk about different things that I got going on in the shop, or they might have something that they need. I can take a little bit of time on that. I don't I don't want to run a 724 phone call thing, but uh, I appreciate everybody chiming in. Also, I appreciate the send in springs and a lot of other things that have been sent in for use in my shop, and also on the giveaway there for uh, what's in your job shop giveaway to Valdir there, and he's jumping out of his skin. He can't wait for us to show up, and wait. I'm the same way. I can't wait to get there and spend some time with him and help him out where he needs to be helped out. And that's what it's all about. All right, I'm going to cut this short, and I thank you for stopping in. Job Shop USA. Until next time, get her done.